Throughout history, the most influential leaders have understood that true power lies not only in weapons, laws, or armies, but in the ability to shape the minds and beliefs of people. From ancient emperors to modern dictators, leaders have used psychological tactics to control perception, suppress dissent, and unify populations under their authority. This essay explores how historical leaders employed psychological strategies ranging from propaganda and fear to charisma and myth-making to maintain control and solidify their rule. 1. The use of propaganda and messaging. One of the most common tools of mind control throughout history has been propaganda. Leaders such as Adolf Hitler in Nazi Germany and Joseph Stalin in the Soviet Union mastered the art of mass messaging through carefully crafted speeches, posters, films, and education. They created narratives that aligned the public's thoughts with the goals of the regime. Hitler's use of propaganda turned racial ideology into national belief, while Stalin manipulated media to rewrite history and portray himself as a heroic figure. Propaganda works psychologically by simplifying complex realities into emotionally powerful messages. It often uses repetition, fear, and asperses their mentalities to create unity against a common enemy. By doing so, leaders can foster blind loyalty and discourage independent thought. 2. The cult of personality. Many authoritarian leaders have built a psychological bond with the public by developing a cult of personality. This tactic involves portraying the leader as a godlike or superhuman figure who embodies the nation itself. Leaders such as Mao Zedong, Benito Mussolini, and Kim Il-sung used statues, slogans, and even doctored images to associate themselves with strength, wisdom, and moral purity. This manipulation taps into a basic psychological need for safety and belonging. When citizens see their leader as infallible, they are more likely to accept his decisions without question even when those decisions lead to suffering or conflict. 3. Fear and repression. Fear has always been an effective psychological tool. By instilling fear of punishment, surveillance, or public shaming, leaders have discouraged dissent and compelled obedience. The use of secret police, public executions, and informant systems like those in East Germany's Stasi or Stalin's USSR created an atmosphere where individuals policed not just their actions, but their thoughts. Psychologically, fear activates the brain's survival instincts, narrowing focus and reducing critical thinking. When people feel constantly threatened, they become more likely to follow authority figures who promise protection.
4. Control of information and education. Leaders have long known that controlling what people learn and how they think from a young age is key to shaping the future. In totalitarian regimes, education systems are often restructured to indoctrinate children with loyalty to the leader and the state. By rewriting textbooks, censoring information, and suppressing alternative viewpoints, leaders shape a reality that supports their rule. In the digital age, this tactic has evolved into control over social media and online information, where misinformation and algorithmic filtering can guide public opinion on a massive scale. 5. Charisma and emotional manipulation. Not all mind control is rooted in fear or propaganda. Some leaders, like John F. Kennedy or Winston Churchill, inspired followers through authentic charisma and emotional intelligence. These leaders connect with people's hopes, fears, and dreams, using compelling language and confident body language to earn trust and admiration. While this type of influence is less sinister, it still represents a form of psychological power, one that can unify a nation or lead it into conflict depending on the leader's intentions. Conclusion. History shows that the human mind is a battlefield in the struggle for power. Leaders who understand psychology, whether through fear, persuasion, or myth-making, can wield extraordinary influence. While some use these skills to inspire and uplift, others use them to manipulate and dominate. As citizens in a modern, media-saturated world, recognizing these psychological strategies is essential for preserving free thought and resisting authoritarian control. Modern implications and the role of technology. In today's interconnected world, The tools of psychological influence have expanded beyond traditional propaganda. Social media algorithms, deepfakes, targeted advertising, and influencer marketing are the new instruments of mind control. Political campaigns and corporations alike harness behavioral psychology to subtly guide decisions, often without the individual's awareness. For instance, Cambridge Analytica's use of Facebook data in the 2016 U.S. presidential election showcased how micro-targeted content can manipulate voter emotions and beliefs. Similarly, authoritarian regimes like China's have integrated advanced surveillance technology and AI-driven censorship to suppress dissent and shape public opinion. These developments blur the line between persuasion and manipulation, as artificial intelligence grows more capable of simulating human behavior and emotions. The potential for psychological control at scale becomes even more concerning. Empowerment through awareness. Understandably, psychological techniques used by past and present leaders is the first step toward resistance. Critical thinking, media literacy, and open dialogue are powerful defenses against mind control.
By encouraging education systems to foster independent thought rather than rote memorization, societies can prepare citizens to recognize manipulation. Ultimately, power over the mind can be used to enlighten or to enslave. It is up to individuals and societies to remain vigilant, question narratives, and protect the freedom of thought that underpins genuine democracy and human dignity. Stay awesome. Hit that like button and subscribe for more. Mind control is not always overt or sinister. It often manifests subtly in everyday life. Marketing strategies, workplace cultures, and even social expectations can nudge individuals towards certain beliefs and behaviors. This form of influence, known as soft control, works through suggestion rather than coercion. Techniques such as social proof, scarcity, and authority described by psychologist Robert Cialdini are regularly used to shape decisions unconsciously. Moreover, cognitive biases like confirmation bias, groupthink, and the illusion of choice can make people susceptible to influence without realizing it. These mental shortcuts evolved to help us survive, but in a media-driven society, they can be exploited to reinforce ideologies or sell products. Understanding these mechanisms empowers people to think more critically. By becoming aware of how language, images, and social pressures affect choices, individuals can reclaim autonomy over their thoughts and actions. In the end, mind control is not just a relic of history or a tool of dictators. It is an ever-present force in human societies, sometimes used for good, but always requiring vigilance